Kerala state, the home of Kathakali, is a narrow strip of fertile land along the southwest coast of India, bordered on one side by a range of mountains, and on the other by the Arabian Sea. In this lush atmosphere, where paddy fields give way to forests of coconut palms, the people live close to the soil, and one never has the choked-off feeling experienced in the congested cities of India. Kathakali is a dance drama rather than a solo dance. The stories are taken from Hindu mythology and are portrayed fully and graphically before public audiences in the temple courtyards. They seek to stress the divine character of their heroes and the victory of good over evil. In Kerala, ancient Sanskrit drama has survived almost unchanged through the centuries in Kudiyattam, a highly disciplined theater system in which every detail from the actor's mode of expression to the exact dimensions of the stage are dictated by ancient treatises on theater. The refinement of Kudiyattam, the vigor of the warrior arts, the mystique of pre-Hindu cult dances, and the grace of the women's harvest dances have all contributed to Kathakali. The training for a Kathakali dancer begins early and lasts for several years, at least 7 years. Oiled and massaged to gain flexibility, the young men undergo a training very closely related to an ancient system of military training, once a necessity for all citizens and now still practiced for recreation. The makeup and costumes are very elaborate, taking several hours and much skill to apply. The distinctive white chin, which is often mistaken for a mask, is applied as a paste of rice flour and plaster and is built up layer by layer. The full skirts are formed of many layers of starched cloth gathered up and tied around the waist. When the dressing process is reversed, it takes nearly as long to get out of the costume as to get into it. The wood carvers who decorated the Kerala temples with delicate carvings also lent their skill to fashioning the crowns and ornaments for Kathakali. The wood foundation is embellished with such exotic elements as the stem part of peacock feathers, silver rosettes, glass inlay, gold leaf, and the wings of iridescent beetles. The costume and mode of behavior for each role is decided by character type rather than by individual personality. The face of a hero with divine attributes is predominantly green. Should he harbor a villainous streak, a stylized mustache is added. A character totally lacking in any sort of discrimination has a face that is red and terrible. The entrance of each character is in keeping with his nature. A wild hunter's entrance is accompanied by firebrands and loud noises. A forest demon who eats people enters with branches torn from the trees and much roaring and showing of teeth. The marvelous monkey god Hanuman enters with the appropriate expressions of both his unique strength and his charming and often humorous monkeyness. The orchestra is relatively simple: a singer, 2 drummers, 2 players of cymbals, and a gong. The drums provide not only the rhythmical base for the dance, but also the sound effects to accentuate the gestures, from the elephant's heavy tread to the sound of a monkey scratching himself. As are all classical arts in India, Kathakali is essentially religious. As such, no dance class or performance can commence without the namaskaram, an invocation and salute to heaven, earth, the feet, the crown, the audience, and the god Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. Flexibility of the limbs is not enough, and much of the student's time is spent practicing eye movements, which must be both powerful and in perfect control. The entire face is used to express the intensity of emotions: love, sarcasm, grief, valor, surprise, fear, anger, disgust, and tranquility. Using 24 single-hand gestures, every word of the accompanying songs can be expressed right down to the last grammatical detail. Each line of song is punctuated with a passage of pure dance called a kalasham. Good evening, friends. I am pleased to introduce my husband, K.P. Kunhiraman, and myself, Katherine Kunhiraman. Kunhiraman is from a family of Kathakali dancers. He was trained by Guru Chandu Panikar in Kalakshetra Institute of Fine Arts in Madras, South India. We are happy to share with you a small taste of Kathakali tonight. This is a scene from the dance drama Kalyana Saguntikam, which is an episode from the Hindu epic Mahabharata. In this scene, Draupadi and her husband Bhima are seated in the forest when a flower of rare fragrance is carried to her on the breeze. She addresses Bhima, "O you, my husband, see this flower in my hand. If you are compassionate towards me, surely I can get them again." Bhima replies, "O my dear-eyed wife, that which you desire, I shall bring. Quickly shall I go and return with many beautiful Saugandhika flowers and give them to you." Then Bhima enters the forest and he sees a huge elephant eating tender vines. A huge python is very hungry and approaches the elephant and, seizing hold of its leg, begins to swallow it. The elephant roars in pain, and the pain is heard by a hungry lion who jumps on the elephant's head and tears at it with sharp claws. Attacked by these two dreadful enemies, the elephant easily succumbs. Bhima, marveling at nature's own laws, continues on his way into the forest.
En kannaya kandalum nee en kannaya kandalum nee enge Kusu வரும் லபிப்பயல் சங்கதி
sees the heavy forest ahead. He views the horizon from end to end. It is a wonder. There he sees huge trees, their foliage covering the sky. Tree after tree, so thickly growing together that a hunter's arrow could not penetrate the forest, not at all. There, he sees a mighty and wild elephant. Its ears flap as it walks in the forest. With its feet and trunk, it kicks up the dust. Throws the dust on its back to cool itself. Takes a branch and pulling it down, swings it about and eats it. There the elephant stands. On the other side, Bhima sees a very long, enormously long, and fat, a truly huge python, making its way along the jungle floor. Bhima views the entire length of it and is amazed. The python is terribly hungry. Its stomach is literally growling for food. But what to eat and where to find it? The python continues in search of food. and wishes to catch it and swallow it. Spreading its jaws wide, catches hold of the elephant's leg and begins to swallow it. It drags the elephant. Meanwhile, the elephant suddenly feels the pain. And looking about, with horror, sees the python clinging to its leg and tries to kick free of it. The python moves slowly up the leg of the elephant, swallowing more and more every moment. Bhima continues on his way. And there, on the other side, in the distance, he sees a lion sitting majestically in the forest. The lion also is hungry. His stomach also growls for food. What to eat? Aha, a sound. What is that sound? It is an elephant roaring in pain. The lion goes in search of it. There, the lion sees the elephant and prepares to jump on it and tear at it with his claws and eat it. He jumps. He digs his claws into the elephant's head and tears it open. The elephant is suffering terribly with the weight on its head and tries to wrench the lion from on top of its head. Meanwhile, the python is still pulling and swallowing its leg. It struggles terribly to get free of these two enemies. But alas, it fails. The hero Bhima marvels at the sight. It is indeed a wonder, the laws of Mother Nature. Quickly, he says, he shall continue into the forest and do his work.
கண்ணைய கண்டலும் நீ என் கண்ணைய கண்டலும் நீ எங்கே